Alrighty, hello and welcome back to my FPL channel. It is the Game Week 29 Deadline Day stream, and believe it or not, the rest of my household is having a day off from Lent. So guess what? The vodka, the grape juice, and the water is up and about. So I'm pretty excited because I'm very much looking forward to Erling Haaland later on, just absolutely, hopefully tearing it up in my team. Obviously, I have brought him into my team. That is the big news, pre-deadline news. So I suppose the best thing we can do here is to jump straight into the stream and check out what is going on. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. Oh, there we go. So 62 points last week was a pretty good score in the end. It got me up to 4,237. Yes, I've got it right in the thing. I've actually got the chat live in the box as well, so hopefully you can see it. I probably need to change the writing on it because it's really hard to read on the stream. Maybe I need to adjust that for next week because I was originally going to use my blue one, but I just figured I'd do this. So let's see what's going on in the comments. We got early. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Jimbo. I need some team advice when you get time. Yeah, 100%, man. I'm going to have a quick look at your team now. By the way, let's give a shout out to Peter. He's joined. He was the first person to join. He got the first comment in. He's the first channel member as well, and he has that sexy looking badge next to him. And Peter, if you could just drop a cool emoji in the chat as well, that'd be really cool as well, just to show some love. But shout out to Peter. He's brilliant, and he's joined the WhatsApp group as well. So again, if you guys want to join that and be involved, you certainly can. And we are going to have a look at Peter's team now while I'm having a look. I'm going to pull it up. Now, earlier on today, I decided to make a couple of early moves because of the fact that I've had so much money on my bench. I had Trent Alexander-Arnold on my bench. I had Alisson Becker on my bench. I had Isaac on my bench. And I had Salah on my bench. It was like almost 30 million pounds worth of like blokes on the bench. And yeah, so look, I needed to make a move. I have made a move. And yeah, look, honestly, it's that point in the day where I'm putting my team value to use. So I just want to quickly go over my team before I jump into the comments, and I will read the comments really quickly. So obviously from last week, 62 up to 4,237, 1998 overall. And just to go into my team value, just to show you what I'm talking about here. So the team value has stayed at 108.3 the last 3 weeks. It's actually been super high. And I thought this was the week where I have to put it to use. And the moves that I did this morning actually just, they just lined up perfectly with how things worked. So I've obviously ditched Trent and he's gone. I've ditched Isaac, he's gone. And I've ditched Alisson Becker, he's gone. I've literally moved out most of my Liverpool assets. I bought in Creswell, not for any reason other than the fact that he just made this move of this combination of moves work. Haaland's come in for Isaac. I'm still torn on whether to make Haaland captain or Bruno captain. That will be decided later on, closer to the actual deadline. And obviously I bought in Areola, so I'm guaranteed a goalkeeper that's going to play this game week. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, that's all I'll say on that. Now we'll get back into the comments really quickly. D-Tuck is in the house. Hello, Darren. Oh, mate, those emojis are absolutely sick. I've literally put a Haaland emoji in, so later on when we do the reaction stream at 11 o'clock, every time Haaland scores, me and Peter are just going to slam the Haaland emoji, and we're just going to be loving life. I made early moves too. I went with Cunha, Isaac, Trent to Haaland, Valentin, Agbadou. I like them. Really good set of moves there, Jimbo. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Darren's team, I'm pretty sure, is in need of some serious help as well. So I'll try and have a look at his in a little bit as well. And I'm just going to pull up your team again. Peter, where's that code again? Let me just pull it up. All right, there we go. 3649400. All right. There was 1 second. I'm just going to whack this up on my screen on my laptop. Rate my team FPL. All right, here we go. Rate my team. All right, and okay. I think I'm looking at the right squad. Hold on. Actually, you know what? I've clicked the wrong thing. I've got it open in the wrong tab. Hold on. FPL. Rate my team. Here we go. Get your team rated. Brilliant. And search by ID. Yes, accept, whatever. Oh, mate, my mouse is not working on my laptop. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. That's really weird. I want to accept, yes. All right, let's have a look. All right, so 364, 364, 364, 9400. All right, go. All right, importing now. Let's have a look, Peter. What can we do for you? Is Garnacho a good one-week punt? Jack, hello, Jack. Yeah, I think it is, actually. I'm thinking getting rid of Saar, Rogers, and Trent for -4. Let's have a look. All right. So, your team. All right, let's see what your suggested transfers are, just FYI. I'm just going to see what FPL is telling me in terms of your assisted reckons transfers. It's going to tell me that you need to sell Salah. That's just bollocks. No one is going to be doing that unless they're in dire straits, and you're definitely not in dire straits. This may take up to 20 seconds. Okay, FPL. All right, yeah, I was right. It reckoned. It's reckoning Salah out for Foden, I reckon, or Savinho, and I don't know. I actually don't know what it's... Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. Hold on. Let's go back there. So, oh, mate, what's going on here? Oh, my laptop is not as easy to use as my computer. Let's put it that way. 364. By the way, we are going to toss the business card just for Rahi, who's hopefully going to join us. He loves the good old card toss, and that will determine who the captain is going to be this week. Just because last week it went so well and I didn't do the -8 and I ended up with a green arrow, so it's brilliant. All right, so Sells is going to start in goal. Milenkovic, Gabriel, Aït-Nouri, Robinson, mate. Your defence is fine. You just rock those 4 defenders this week. You've got Salah. No, Salah's not playing. Sar's not playing. Rogers not playing. All right, your midfielders in dire straits. Palmer and Dango are playing. Isaac, Wood, and Raul. So Wood and Raul are playing. What did I suggest earlier on today? I feel like the moves I suggested earlier on today I was pretty happy with. So I would actually keep Saar and I'd trade Isaac. Yeah, I'd trade Isaac for Evanlinson. Yeah, I'd trade Isaac for Evanlinson. I'd get rid of Trent. You can easily just bring in Munoz this week because you don't need a defender. And then you can just move out Rogers they'll give you money. So actually, they'll give you quite a bit of money. You can actually just roll with like the best midfielder you can get. Maybe a Phil Foden. If we hear some team news later, maybe save that third transfer, that Rogers one, for a little bit later on. Or you might get some team news that Man City are actually making some sort of a move. And yeah, I'm going to wildcard in 30 as well. Hello, Solé. Yeah, look, wildcarding this week, that's what I would do. That's my gut feel. That's what I would do. Wildcard on. Rajan. Hello, mate. How are you? Yeah, look, honestly, I think once this move is going, as we can see my team there, I don't have any Crystal Palace players at all, and I really want Mateta, Saar, and Munoz, and I could get 2 of the 3 for a -4 in game week 30 and just roll my wildcard to 31. I could just wildcard, do it for free, set up the team perfectly, because we will know the FA Cup results before the end of before the deadline of game week 30. So I think that that's something you probably should be looking at. I'm between 2 moves: Trent, Wadi, Cunha to Haaland, Evanlinson, Milenkovic, or Salah, Wadi, Cunha to Haaland, Evanlinson, Bruno. You're not selling Salah. For me, don't sell Salah. Everyone has so much team value tied up in Salah. He's just got to be benched this week because he's going to be brilliant until he gets injured, until Liverpool win the league. I think that's the way we go from here. Hello, Chill22. Wolves or Fulham midfielder under 6 million for 2 game weeks only. Montesi, you could take an absolute gamble on. That's probably my favourite in terms of that one. I think Montesi's probably my favourite there. I'm not sure about the rest. Fulham, I don't really rate any of the Fulham players, so it's hard for me to recommend any of them. Wolves or Fulham, not going to lie, everyone is basically gone for the same template. I wish I'd wanted to pick somebody different. Look, I'm ripping up my template a little bit. I don't know what I want to do the next couple of weeks. I don't know if I want Wood, Mateta, Isaac, Wood, Mateta, Haaland, Wood, Isaac, Haaland. I think every one of them has Wood. Maybe it's Wood, Mateta, Isaac. That one I'm not sure. And I have to make my mind on that. Garnacho's pretty good, but he's just so wasteful, man. I hate seeing Garnacho go up and just squander chances. It's infuriating watching that man play. If he had better end product, he'd be a brilliant buy. Ruffy, thoughts on wildcard team plan is Bench boost 32, free hit 33. I don't mind these. So Saar, Henderson, Ryan Aitnori, Williams, Guaviol, Mazraoui, Lindelof. Whoa, Mazraoui and Lindelof, hold on. Oof. I don't rate those two moves at all. Alanga, Clive, Bruno, Salah, Murphy, Isaac, Wood, Haaland. Plans to make 3 transfers of bench boost. Yeah, that team is good, Ruffy, except don't be buying Man United defenders. I'm a Man United fan. We're crap. Punting on Lindelof, then moving to minus. Okay, yeah. Team reviews, buddy. Yeah, look, I gave Peter a team review because he is a channel member. If I get the time, I'll definitely look into it. Reaction stream, join me for that. I'll definitely look at it there. You're better off just typing your team in the thing, and I'll have a quick look at it now because I'm getting slammed from all methods at the moment. Munoz, yeah, I love Munoz. Munoz is definitely brilliant. Saar does my head in, always bags when I don't have him and does nothing when I have him. Mateta and Munoz are must. Rajan, guess what's going to happen today? Milenkovic has sat on my bench the last 3 weeks and got me 6, 5, and 5 points. Today I'm going to start him, and I can guarantee he's going to concede. Like, I just got a bad feeling, you know. Like, everyone's going to double up on the Nottingham Forest defence. That's why I didn't actually end up doubling up on him. I just didn't think it was worth it. Start Dango or Kirkes, starting and Buemo and Wissa. I'd start... Oh, mate, that's a tough one. Chu Wang. Oh, I'm benching Kirkes. But Kirkes is on my bench. I'll just quickly show my bench. Because of the fact I have Buemo and Wissa, I've just got to back in the Brentford boys. It could go horribly wrong and Kirkes gets a clean sheet and Robinson doesn't. And that was who I was debating about myself. But if I'm playing Buemo and I'm playing Wissa, Kirkes has to be benched because I'm backing in Brentford to score in this way. Hopefully that kind of helps. Is it worth to bring in Haaland, Gibbs White, Bruno Fernandes, Nico Williams in place of TAA, Palmer, Isaac and Rodgers with a -8? I've taken a -4 to bring in a Haaland myself, Mohamed, so I don't mind that set of moves. -8s are perfectly fine this week. I don't think if you go above -8, I'm concerned. But if you go -8 max, and I'd actively weighed up going to -8 this week myself, but now I've decided I'm probably just going to wildcard in 30, which is why I'm not doing a -8 anymore. I kicked out Trent, Palmer, Watkins, and Cunha for Haaland, Valentin Williams, and Bruno for a -12. Valentin Williams, Bruno, Haaland. I mean, your team's so much better this week, 100%. In that case, you just roll with it, man. Like, if you take a -12, this game week could be one of them ones like last year where game week 29 was just an absolute dud. I don't think this one's going to be quite as dud. There are some nice fixtures here for quite a few teams, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be smooth sailing. That's all I'll say to that. Leicester haven't scored at home in the last 6 games, so that's why I've doubled on United fence, and then they'll never play for me again. That's fair. But if there's the only concern I've got about that is I watch United games religiously. I watch them all, and I can tell you that they're all pretty hard to watch, especially when you've got a clowning goalkeeper. Anana is just the biggest fraud of a goalkeeper. He literally has the softest palms. Guaranteed he gives a gift tomorrow. I hope he doesn't, but I feel like he will. Hello, Amit. How are you, buddy? I need a Greaves bullet header. Oh, mate, don't we all? Greaves actually gets a header here against Nottingham Forest. He'll blank so many teams because so many people have the double up on Forest defence. It's crazy. If you had no Forest defence and needed a goalkeeper, would you bring in Sells or is Saar better value? I feel like I did weigh up Sells, but when he rose to 5.1, I just didn't think he was worth the value. So for me, I ended up just going with Areola because at least I know I've got a goalkeeper. Unless Fabianski and Areola both come down with a flu today or whatever it is that they play, then I'm pretty much set. One of them will play, I'll be happy, and we just roll and we go with it again. But yeah, look, -4. I can't believe this is my 4th -4 of the season. On 3 of the -4s, I've actually had a green arrow. Having a green arrow from 4,237 on the -4 does sound a little bit preposterous. But when I look at my team, I have all the good players that everyone is buying this week. So in my mind, if they all perform, I'm looking pretty, is what I would say to that. Thoughts on Marshall Montesi? Yeah, I quite like Montesi for a little bit of a cheap shot. I have a triple up on Forest defence. Yeah, triple up on the Forest defence could work. I just feel like Wood is a far better option this week. 1+ for United as Maguire isn't playing. I like Slavev, man. I think he's better than De Ligt, but that's just me. So looking at it, Rodgers and Saar out for a Valentin and 1. from Bowen, Savinho, or Mbuemo. Can't afford Foden. Only got... Oh, mate, how unlucky is that? You can't get Foden 0.1 off. Oh, that's disappointing. I would actually go for, in that case... part of me really likes the Savinho punt this week. I'm not sure why. He's getting emojis because he's a channel subscriber. So if you want the emojis, you can subscribe for whatever it is. And I'm just going to quickly see if I can whack. I'm going to whack an emoji in just to annoy Darren. This is the Tom. This is what happens when you don't pay me $4, Darren. You get a Tom. A Tom who fell asleep. Haaland, nice. Hat-trick incoming. Yes, Peter, I love it. It's filling. You also get a little badge next to your name as well. It's kind of cool. Is it possible to come back from 2.1 mil rank to top 1 million or even top 500? YG, yes, 100% it is. It's definitely possible. You just got to make some smart moves. Your next wild card, you've got to absolutely nail. And if you can do that, you're every chance to come back in and get much higher up the rankings. Dwyan, could you build the best free hit team and what's your rank? My rank is on the screen. Current rank, 4,237. If I was doing if I was doing a free hit this week, I'm actually going to show you what my free hit draft looked like from my video earlier on I uploaded. Best mid out of Forest, Savinho and Semenyo. I feel like Savinho is the best. That's just my personal... Yeah, I agree. Savinho's got better data than Foden, but let's do a free hit draft just for everyone that is watching. This is probably what I would do if I was on free hit. I would probably... Actually, no, restore him. I'm probably going to go with Sarr. Everyone's talking about Onana. I just think that United concede against Leicester. I just know what we're like. We're just crap footballers in general, to be honest with you. Haaland, so on a free hit, Salah's going to come out. And I'm going to look at... I quite like Foden. Don't know why. I've just got a sneaky suspicion about him tonight, which is why I like him. And you're going to love what I'm doing with this draft. So I'm actually going to get rid of Mbuemo because I think that he's not a very good pick this week. And I'm going to go with my mate Jarrod Bowen. So I like the midfield there. How much money have I got? 4.1. I don't like Wissa this week. I actually prefer... You can kind of tell where I'm going with this. I feel like Brentford aren't going to win. I just hope that they score at least a couple of goals. Aiming for top 1 million, and I'm complaining about being stuck between 1 and 2K. I know, you've got it so good, mate. So good. Marmoush will start. Should I keep him with Haaland? Will he start? I don't know, man. I've watched Marmoush a few times, and it's pep roulette. I feel like Marmoush probably does start, and it might be Foden on the right and Savinho misses out. We hopefully will get some sort of a leak before the deadline passes. Who else do I like? I don't mind Robinson this week. Milenkovic. I need some Forest players. So I'll probably, you know what? I've got Wood there. So actually, I'm going to go with Sells in goal. So that would probably be who I'd go in goal. Still got 3.8 million. Who else do I like? Who else is a good defender this week? Let's have a look. So I've got Kirkes, Milenkovic, Aït-Nouri, Creswell, Robinson. Really, it's probably not Creswell. It's probably Guardiol. That's probably the free hit draft. Look, I've got 1.7 million left in the bank. So I'm quite lucky I've got huge team value. That's probably my free hit draft there for whoever was asking that. That's what I would go with. Actually, we'll just go back to here and I'll just leave that there and I'll just quickly click on that. We'll open that up in a new tab and we'll go back to my team. Why did I take the armband off Bruno? Good question. So we see this. Rahi loves this. I'm going to flip this card later. Whichever way it ends up, it's either going to be Haaland captain or it's going to be Bruno captain. If it's on the barcode, it's Haaland. If it's on the other side, it's Bruno. We will do that a little bit later on just for the lols. That's what I did last week. That's why how I made my moves last week because I couldn't make up my mind. Savinho, Marmoush, Grealish. Yeah, imagine if Haaland got dropped. That'd be pretty funny. I would actually cry if that happened. Milenkovic is the best one. Yeah, 100%. Milenkovic is definitely the best defender you want this week. He was number one on my top transfer targets this week. He's just class. And he also has that aerial threat from corners. And if you want some interesting news, Ipswich Town are up there with some of the worst defensive abilities from set pieces this season. That equals Milenkovic goals. Well, I'm hoping it equals Milenkovic goals anyway. And who are you starting? I'm not starting the free hit team, man. If I was starting, I would go with Sells in goal. Milenkovic would start I'd probably go with Gvardiol and Aït-Nouri, bench Robinson and Kirkes. I'd then go with a 5-man midfielder. I'd go with Kluivert, Bowen, Palmer, Foden, Bruno Fernandes, and I'd probably go with Wood and Haaland up front. That's what I'd do. Yep. Behind Haaland. Yeah. I'd like to hope so. I mean, the good news is we know that Kevin De Bruyne is just not a very good player. Well, no, he's a good player, but he's old and he just can't keep up anymore. So we're probably realistically going to not see him feature too heavily, I wouldn't have thought. No Forest midfielder. No, I just think there's better midfielders this week. I mean, like, in fairness, you could go Palmer out. Okay, this is probably a goer. If I was to pick a midfielder, I'd probably go with Gibbs White, right? I think that Gibbs White's definitely the best. If you compare the data from them all, obviously then I can't have Sells, so then that would just become what was his name again? Areola. Is there another goalkeeper that probably keep a clean sheet this week? That's the question. I don't think there is. So I think I'd just go with Areola and hope for the best. I mean, you could go for Pickford. I've got enough money for there, so maybe just go with Pickford and just see. But I'm playing Bowen, so that makes no sense. So we've got to go with Areola. Where are we? There we go. Areola. Yeah. So in this case, I would then start Areola, Gvardiol, Aït-Nouri, Milinkovic, Fernandes, Foden, Gibbs White, Bowen, Kluivert, Haaland, Wood, Evanilson me on the bench. No Arsenal player, no. They're playing Chelsea. I reckon they concede. Arsenal's defence are going to get blanked. I actually think Cole Palmer scores this week. That's why I've kept him. That's why I've kept him in my team. I think Cole Palmer returns this week. Anyone know what's happened to Hwang? Seems to have had a huge fall. Yeah, I agree. Chill. I'm not sure what the hell's happened to Wang, other than the fact that he's been wanged to the bench. Had Haaland after game week 6. He stunk it up. My captaincy every week. He needs to make up for that today. 100%. He needs to make it up. I mean, I captained him for quite a few weeks when I had Salah and him, and then I eventually showed Haaland the door. So, yeah. But, yeah, I don't rate Arsenal, man. I just don't think they're in good form. And their forwards suck without Saka. And their defence, I just think that they should have lost to Man United last week. Like, they should have lost. Yeah, for me, I just don't rate them at the moment. Imagine being Nade Nipple. Yeah, Arsenal defence. I did look at the Arsenal defence, but I just don't rate him. Like Gabriel, I'll pull it out for people that are wondering about the Arsenal defence, right? Because there are a few people that are asking about Arsenal defence. So let's have a look. Let's pull up Gabriel. Gabriel, where is he? Oh, sorry. I'm looking in the goalkeepers still, defenders. Let's have a look at Gabriel's stats the last few weeks. This dude hasn't got an attacking return since game week 17. Do you want to know who was available in game week 17? It was Saka. That was the game that Saka got injured after this assist. Since then, he's kept 3 clean sheets in 11 games. So you're telling me that I should put Gabriel in 3 clean sheets in 11 games? Nah, I don't think he's worth 6.4. I think he's massively overrated. I put him in the same category as Trent Alexander-Arnold in terms of I don't rate him. It's really brutal, but it's the honest truth. That's how I feel about the expensive defenders this year. Even Gvardiol, he's risen to 6 mil now. He's look at all the defenders under 5 million that are brilliant. Robinson's not 5 million anymore. He's 5. Well, he's 5. Kirkes, I bought Kirkes at 4.4 million. This dude's up to 5.2. Like if you are actively looking at the different defenses this season and jumped on board early, you've made so much money in your team. That's how I've got all my team values from defenders, like picking bargain defenders and just watching them rise in price. There's no point doing that. Help my team, please. Vandenberg might play now. Just get rid of him, mate. Get rid of him. Get rid of Vandenberg. I think, hold on, let me have a look at Darren's team. Darren, send me your team. Send it on Messenger for me so I can have a quick look. He could score ahead of every FPL creator. D-Tuck also, you should have actually just bought a subscription, mate. It would have been better. But thank you very much for the super chat. Absolute champ. He's my best mate for a reason because he enjoys my content. So thank you very much, buddy. Chip Strategies having AM free hit AM and and wildcard. Yeah, if you've got the AM chip, you play it in game week 31 to 33. Ignore the rest. Bench boost you can play on any week. Just set up your team accordingly. Wildcard ditto. If you've got wildcard, you play it in 30 and you play the AM chip in 31 to 33. Darren, send me your thing on. Here we go. He sent it to me. Thoughts on selling Mateta, Palmer, Dango, and Wissar to Haaland, Bruno, Hudson-Odoi, and Evanilson and Kieran. Don't mind that lot of moves, mate. You're going to have a much stronger team this week. Is that for a hit, though? That is the question. All right, let's have a look at Darren's team. All right. How do you get an emoji? Yeah, you just buy a channel subscription. That's all. All right, so Flecken's starting in goal. It's not ideal. So Hodgson, Doherty, Milenkovic. There you're starting three in the back. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, your midfield needs you need a midfielder. You need a midfielder. How much money you got? 7.6 in the bank. Oh, bring in Jared Bowen, Darren. Jared Bowen for Palmer. Hold on. How many players does that give you? You still one player. No, hold on. You then need Van den Berg to play minutes. Far out. That's difficult. All right, hold on. I'd almost say you either play with 10 or you get in Gibbs White and you upgrade Van den Berg to another Forest defender, I think. I think that's what I would do. I think I'd upgrade to another Forest defender. And then you'd have Flecken, Forest defender, Hodgson, Doherty, Milenkovic, Kluivert, Mbeumo, Fernandez, and what's his name? What did I just say? Gibbs White. And then you'd have Haaland and Wood. I think that's what I'd do. What would you do? Get Wissa for Gapco and hope that Dango plays, scores, assists after sub, or two? I mean, Dango could play, right? I wouldn't be in a rush to move Dango out. He could easily come on for 20 minutes and absolutely destroy. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, Morgan Gibbs White, 100%. Yeah, Amit's on the same line of thinking. I think that Darren, definitely Morgan Gibbs White for Palmer in that set of moves, and then you can fix Van den Berg as well in an extra move if you really want, or you can just roll with him and hope he starts. All right, let's have a look. Thoughts on selling Mateta, Palmer, Dango, and Wissa to Haaland, Bruno, Hudson-Odoi, and Evanilson. Yeah, they're fine, Kieran. I think I've already answered that one, actually. What would you do? Get Wissa for Gapco and hope that Dango plays, scores, assists after sub or two. Get Raul Jimenez for Gakpo and Bruno for Gakpo for a -4. I'm assuming that's Bruno for Dango for a -4 and Raul for Gakpo. I think I'd almost go the -4 route. I feel like Bruno's the best player to buy this week. Like, honestly, I think he's the best player to play. Is Montesi guaranteed to start? No, all of Wolves' attackers outside of Cunha are available and fit, and I wouldn't be putting any money on whether he starts, but if he starts, he's probably good for a return. Because I see higher chances of Ralph scoring than Beto. Yep, that's fair. West Ham didn't let more than one goal in the last few games. Yeah, West Ham defensively have been a lot better. Yeah, Bruno Fandango makes a lot of sense, yeah. Unless he does not have Kluivert. Yeah, if you don't have Kluivert's probably the buy. I mean, Kluivert's so good. I'm so glad that when I was weighing up Kluivert, Dango, and Semenyo, and I put Kluivert actually plays probably, well, when Dango was starting, Kluivert played the least minutes, but he just looks so good. Like the last few games for Bournemouth, Kluivert's been like on a different level, man. He's been on a different level. And yeah, I'd agree with Amit. Even for a -4, I'd definitely do it 100%. It makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that's the free hit draft. Back to my own team now. Oh, this vodka is going down quite nicely. Day off from everything else, so I'm glad for that. Hold on, where we are? There we go. Pick team. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way the team is this week. I mean, -4 is not ideal, but when you've literally got every player that I think is going to be good this week, I feel pretty confident. The only one that I wish that I didn't have instead would be I'd actually swap out Mbeumo and Wissa for probably Evanilson and Bowen, and then I'd be very happy. But look, I'm not taking any more hits. Like my -4, I think is perfectly fine with what I've done this week, and that's what I would do with that. I am intrigued to know if we'll get any. That's really funny. I talked some smack before in this. I train with these AFL boys, and AFL Fantasy started today as well. And my team's actually going fairly well. I picked some good picks in that, but I had a couple of shockers in the last couple of games, and everyone's just taking the piss out of me for it. So Didn't nail everything, but it was a pretty good start first up there. Let's have a look. What else am I got going on here? All right. Let's have a look. All right, just whack that in there, back in here. All right, what do we got here? What's your opinion on Wood captain instead of Bruno if you don't have Haaland? I don't mind the Wood captain. Like, Wood captain is perfectly fine. And, like, honestly, I was, before this game week had happened, and, like, we were talking, like, 3 or 4 weeks ago, my intention was to just not have Haaland and captain Chris Wood. But then the FA Cup game between Ipswich and Nottingham Forest happened, and that went a lot closer than I thought it would, which gave me big doubts about Chris Wood. And then Bruno Fernandes, the last 3 weeks, has been absolutely brilliant. 2 goals, 2 assists, 29 points, and he's fresh off the back of a hat-trick on Thursday night. Like, the dude is, if there's one player out of my squad at the moment, there's 2 players that I would argue are in top form. That's Bruno Fernandes and Justin Kluivert. So in reality, maybe I should be looking at my captaincy in terms of those 2 players rather than Haaland. It's just Haaland's at home, and if he gets up and running, if Man City show up, and look, Man City aren't in Europe, so you would think that they're going to be well-rested, more rounded, etc., etc., they will hopefully show up. And if they show up, man, we're back in business, and that Haaland emoji is going to get an absolute hammering. And Tessie or Elanga? I think I'd go with Elanga. Elanga's really good in game week 30 as well. Like, they play Man United, he'll be keen to go against them as well. Bowen or Gibbs White? If you can afford Bowen, it's Bowen all day long for me. I think he's a way better hold long term than Gibbs White. Who do I swap for Haaland? Mateta or Isaac? Mateta or Isaac? You swap Isaac because in game week 30, Darren, if you're not wildcarding, you want to have Mateta against Southampton rather than Isaac against Brentford. That's my read on it. That's what I would definitely say to that. Bowen or Gibbs White? Yeah, definitely Bowen. Because I don't trust Bruno that much and just give him another chance. Bought him in for a -2 against Wolves last time, lol. Oh, mate, yeah. I mean, Bruno has that in his locker. And I was talking to one of my mates that's a big Man United fan. We were watching the game the other night, and he was like going, there's every chance that, like, Bruno just... that he gets sent off after scoring a hat-trick. Like, I don't know what the odds on that would be, but you would imagine it'd be pretty remote, but like there's no guarantee it won't happen if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, honestly, I need to whack a poll in here. Hold on, can I whack a poll in? Let's have a look if I can whack a poll in. Hold on, live chat. Can I? All right, emoji. Can I do a poll? I don't know where the polls are. How annoying. Also, how cool is this? How cool is this emoji? I wish I had this man in my team, the Fellaini. I don't even know why I put it in there. I feel like if Bruno scores, it's the Fellaini emoji and the wig comes out on live stream. That's what happens there. Stellius, hello, buddy. How are you? Trent to Creswell. That's what I did. Isaac to Beto and Cunha to Haaland and start with 10 players, no goalkeeper. Dango plays, don't have Wood or Bruno. Don't have Wood or Bruno. I have Bowen, double Brentford defence. I have double Brentford defence as well, as you can see. Or just wildcard and save it. Nah, I would definitely not wildcard this week, mate. We don't know what those fixtures are going to be. Wildcard 30 is perfectly fine because you'll know the results of the FA Cup. You'll know who's going to blank. You'll know who is going to double. We just don't know when they will double. But it does mean that you can prepare your team for those doublers in game week 30 over the international break. Plus, if there's any injuries or whatever, you can wildcard then. If you wildcard now and all of a sudden during the international break you get like 3 or 4 injuries, all of a sudden you're stuffed. You have no wildcard because you used it this week. I'd definitely be taking hits. Hudson-Odoi or Elanga for... I looked at these stats earlier and Hudson-Odoi is more... Hudson-Odoi is... What's the word I'm looking for? He's more consistent in terms of when he plays and his returns, but Elanga can be more explosive. That's my read of it, I feel. Zooming your starting 11. All right. Okay, let's have a look. Thank you, Amit. Let's go. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. All right, there we go. All right, I've gone too much now. Hold on. Go one out. That's as much as it goes, mate. I can't get it any bigger on my screen. Hold on. Unless I can manually do it. No, I can't manually do it. That's not going to work. I can go a little bit further. All right. Haaland for Isaac and Mateta. Yeah. I feel like Isaac is the one. If you didn't move Isaac overnight, it makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Let's have a look. What's Hamid saying here? All right, 50% of your bench screen. 50% of your screen should be your... Yeah, I get what you're saying. You have to make sure you definitely let me know what's going on after this. I will attempt to fix that for the next stream. Obviously, I do work full time, by the way. I don't actually just make YouTube videos. I'm actually dead tired. You'll notice some videos I actually looked really tired, and that's because I am. I try and watch as much football as possible because I love football, and yeah, just going to go so much just because I can. Yes, Peter, I love it. It's so good. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Trent to Crystal, Isaac to Beto, Cunha to Haaland, start with 10. I would start with 10 Stelios. That's my honest opinion on that. I just think that I actually weighed not making a goalkeeper transfer, but to get Haaland in, the way I looked at it in the end, I could get Haaland in for Isaac, who wasn't playing. It removed the money on my bench. Trent, we know, is going to be injured. We don't know when he's going to be back, so he's definite. He needed to be sold anyway. And then I just weighed up, I need a goalkeeper. So in reality, if Areola gets 2 points, it's really only -2 for my team because I was just going to play with no goalkeeper. So that's the way I looked at it in the end. So that's why I'm doing it. Is Garnacho guaranteed to start? I'd say so. He looks really good on the right. I feel like he's been really good. I feel like potentially he's been perfectly fine. I know exactly what Amit's trying to say. I don't know how to fix it live stream without completely ruining the screen and everyone leaving. But I know exactly what you're talking about. I know I can condense that down and then get in my list of substitutes and other stuff on the right. It is a work in progress. Unfortunately, I ran out of time this week. I've been super busy doing lots of other stuff. I still have faith in my Chelsea boys. I have Palmer, Neto, and Nkunku versus Arsenal. Jimbo, the daddy, are you going to the game? Are you going into as a Chelsea supporter on the way end? If you are, then potentially, I'm hoping that they do something, mate. I really hope that they're doing something, 100%. Also, last week I got the table manager bonus horribly wrong. I picked Graham Potter in my team. I don't even want to look at my challenge team. It was absolutely horrible last week. Hello, Freddie. How are you, buddy? Do you like a double up Forest defence? Yeah, I don't mind it. I only own 2 Forest players, but it's because I obviously had limited transfers, so yeah, I don't mind that at all. Hey, mate, who should I get in instead of Vandenberg and Gakpo? Also considering selling Palmer Dango. Got 2 free transfers and 0.3 in the bank. All right, Gakpo, I'm assuming you don't have a Van Linsen, Yasmin, so I would actually go for a Van Linsen, and then you can piss Vandenberg off for whichever defender you want. That would be your 2 best moves. I'm just going to be watching from home, probably crying after halftime. I hope not, mate. I just can't see Arsenal scoring many goals, to be honest with you. I think you'll be perfectly fine. That's the way I read it. I would think that we're going to be pretty good. Oh my God, there's 36 watching now. Keep your comments flowing in. Again, I'm really intrigued to know whether anyone has bought in the Haaland this week. Hi, mate. Got Kluivert and Mbeumo, Palmer, Bruno, Gibbs-White, Beto, Wood, Haaland. Need to bench one. Oh my God, how do you have that many players available? You must be on a free hit, Epic, if you've got all that available and you need to bench one. Who would it be? Gibbs-White, Bruno, Palmer, Mbeumo, Kluivert. I think your benching decision is between Mbeumo and Beto. If I'm being brutally honest, it's Mbeumo and Beto for me. The fact that Mbeumo is on penalties makes you think that... In fact, Beto's on penalties as well, right? But I feel like Oh, mate, Brentford's form has been, by the way, I'm just going to pull this up just to show people what I'm talking about. Brentford's away form has been so much better than their home form. So all their last home games have been loss, draw, away, win, home, loss, away, win, home, loss, home, draw, away, win, home, loss, away, draw, and then that was the last time. So Brentford are actually super good away from home. They've become like a Crystal Palace and Fulham, really good away from home, crap house at home. So yeah, I think I'd probably bench Beto. Oh, I hate saying that, but that's a really difficult, that's a really difficult decision to do, that one. Let's have a look. All right. So the bench I'll play. Open a Word document there, the background black, the text green, I won't pay every player. Yes, I like it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm at 100%. I will definitely get that in for next week. 100%. Well, actually, I've got 2 weeks to prepare. There's no deadline for the next 2.5 weeks, actually. It's going to be really weird. It's international break next weekend. The following weekend, it's FA Cup quarterfinals. And then it's a mid-week deadline for game week 30. Then I'm actually going to snowbombing in Austria for game week 31. And I'm going to do a deadline stream just before I make my way to the airport. And then I'll be flying during game week 31. So people have to update me on what's going on in game week 31. But the videos for that week and a bit or 2 weeks when I'm away might be a little bit limited because we will be partying literally every single day. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little bit AFK, but I will try and get a couple of videos out a week, hopefully when I'm not intoxicated. Or sell Beto to Wissa, you say, and bench Palmer. Oh, I feel like I prefer Vanlinson than Wissa this week, if that works in your team. Hold on, what did you say before? Yeah, my best front three this week is a Vanlinson, Wood, and Haaland. Those are my best front three this week. Yeah, I definitely did read. I will definitely action on that. Cadiz Yasmin, I'm going to do Milenkovic and Wood and have 6.6 for a midfielder. Who should I get? I already have Clivert and Blermo. You definitely go for Gibbs White, mate. Go for Gibbs White, 100%. Sorry, I'm getting through the chat. I'm a little bit behind. I'm like reading so many things at once. So I do apologise that I do look like I'm a little bit all over the place. I would definitely buy in Gibbs White. If you don't have a third Forest and you have 6.6 exactly, Morgan Gibbs White is your man. Best defender, a 1 week punt. I have Gabriel Milinkovic and Ryan Aitnori. Pickford goalie. Best defender, 1 week punt. Why do you need another defender? Mark, why do you need another defender? Do you want to play with 4 defenders? Or do you have to play with 4 defenders? Is that the question? Or are you choosing to play with 4 defenders? And would you take a hit for Bruno? Mate, I've got Bruno on my team. I took a hit to bring in Haaland. So I think Bruno is a better buy than Haaland this week. So I took a hit for Haaland. Is it justifying taking a hit for Bruno for a -4? Heaps of people going to be on -4 this week, so I don't mind the hit. In my free hit team, should I put Palmer in support my Arsenal? Support Arsenal. My rank is 23k. Wow, your rank's really good, mate. That's really good. Well done. That's really high. We've got a lot of top people. By the way, guys, if you haven't already joined the league, make sure you smash that league code in as well that's on the screen. We love having as many people in as we can possibly get. That's brilliant. So just keep everyone coming in. Also share it with your friends as well if you've got other people that play FPL. We are trying to grow. And yeah, that'd be nice as well. In my free hit team, should I put Palmer in support Arsenal? Yeah. I just don't rate Arsenal in general, man. Like they're just not that good. You don't want to sell Salah, Isaac, although it doesn't matter if I'm wildcarding next week. Do not sell Salah. Do not sell Salah. You'll regret it. Like Salah did drop in price overnight, right? But Salah in my team, what's he worth? 13.7. If I go to my list value, I bought Salah when he was... Okay, what's going on here? Why can't I... Oh, hold on. I need to go to transfers. Sorry. Go to transfers. List. Salah. I bought Salah when he was 12.6. Like if I sold him now, I would get 13.1 and I'd have to pay 0.6 million back to get him. The only reason why I sold Isaac is because he was dropping in price tonight and he's not as much. I don't have as much team value tied up in him as Salah, which is why Isaac went and Salah didn't. But yeah, I like Bruno. I've left 3 of my playing players on my bench so that they score. Reverse psychology, the FPL gods. Yes, Peter, I love it. That is brilliant. It's definitely, yeah, I love that. That's fantastic. Do you think Raul Jimenez will start? Yeah, they didn't play in midweek. There's no reason for them to start Muniz. Munoz has plays for Crystal Palace, plays in defence. Should know this. Muniz, I don't think he's likely to start. I think he'll be fine. But Palmer ain't on form. He's been bad, and Chelsea can't attack. Actually, Palmer looked really good in the Europa Conference League when he came on at halftime. He looked amazing. I watched the highlights back in that game, and I mean, he probably should have scored. Probably should have passed a couple of times as well. But he looked hungry, and he looked a hell of a lot better than he looked against Leicester on the weekend. I'm unsure what you want me to do, Amit. Almost all the questions on live pertain to that bench play. Okay, I'm not quite sure. Is Haaland worth minus 16? 100% no, it's not. It's definitely not worth minus 16, Amit. If you take a minus 16, you're going to be behind me in the rank. But Palmer ain't on form. He's been bad, yeah. I've sold Salah. He's only had 0.1 mil. Oh, what? Okay. All right, if you've only got 0.1 tied up in Salah, he's a sell, 100%. You just get rid of him and go for someone else, 100%. But if you only jumped on late, mate, I feel sorry. He's been so good all season. He's been an absolute freak. And being a United fan, it hates me. I hate saying that. But my God, Salah's been great. AWB for Trent. Yep, don't mind that move. Wan-Bissaka's pretty good. In fact, Wan-Bissaka's long-term fixtures are actually pretty good. If we pull up Areola's stats here, if you have a look at the fixtures for West Ham through to the end of the season, other than game week 32, where you'll probably just bench him against Liverpool, West Ham's run through to the end of the season is actually pretty damn good. Like, there's a lot of stuff I quite like there. So, yeah, I don't mind that. So, yeah, 100%. He's actually a pretty good shout, to be fair. No one is worth minus 16. Did you know we actually had a bloke in our chat? Yes, 100%. Next live, 100%. I am definitely. I'm trying. Like, yeah. I generally try. I'm pretty quick at getting through most comments as well. Fingerboarding. Hello. Did you sell Salah? No, I did not. Sorry. So yeah, my Salah's on my bench. So sorry, I have kept. Actually, I'll just do that because no one wants to see my starting goalkeeper, right? I've got Areola in goal. Everyone knows that. That's my bench. That's my team. Yeah, Salah stayed. 100%. Salah's just staying. I mean, he just needs to score a hat trick and Palmer blank. Yeah, mate. I'm 580k ranked despite holding Haaland for way too long earlier in the season. That's pretty good, man. If you held Haaland all throughout that, I don't mind it at all. I think you're going pretty good, to be honest. Oh, someone actually just posted on a video. What's going on here? Hold on, Man United are trying to send me something. Darren, click join. It's next to subscribe. Pock Customs. I got Gibbs White instead of Fernandez. Yeah, don't mind it, to be honest. Look, Fernandez is really brilliant. Like, he's a great option. He's not essential by any way, shape or form, but he's definitely worth a good. Bench Palmer, though, for João Pedro, but not sure on that one. I think I'd be playing Palmer. Like, if you've kept Palmer, you start him. I'm starting Palmer. I'm just hoping eventually he's going to turn around, and when he turns around, he's probably going to go ham, and that'll be the game where he gets like a mega haul, and everyone will be like, oh my God, I need Palmer back, and then they'll start frothing about it. Did someone say Haaland? Yes, they did, Peter. Yes, they did. Is it worth getting Bruno? I'm not free hitting. Is it worth getting Bruno? I'm not free hitting. Lots of people ask this question. Bruno's next 3 fixtures, I'd actually argue the next 5. I actually think Bruno's a hold. Like, I know that it says Nottingham Forest away, Man City at home, Newcastle away. Bruno Fernandes has been directly involved in 11 of Man United's last 13 goals. Like, if Man United score a goal, he's involved. So unless you're thinking that they're going to be blanking against Nottingham Forest, Man City and Newcastle, which I don't think they will. I think they will score. Bruno Fernandes is going to be involved and he'll be getting points. So that's the way that I look at it. This man is unbelievably in form at the moment as well. I love him. And yeah, I'm very glad that I held him. Originally, I was going to sell him after that Wolves red card. I held him. He came back. He delivered points against Liverpool and other teams that I wasn't expecting. And he did it on my field. And he's only been benched once where he's actually returned for me. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. Season highlight so far was getting Beto for the Everton double game week. What's mine? Chill. My best game week moment of the season was when Saka went down injured and everyone else was jumping on Anthony Gordon and blah, 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 all these other players. And I looked at the fixtures and I said Phil Foden was the man for me. And I bought him Phil Foden and I could tell you what he did. Hold on. This is the time that I owned him for. I'm going to bring him up just to shout out to this man because I hated selling him, but it was a good sell because he's done nothing since I sold him. I bought him in for the Everton game, so he got 2 points, which was 1 bonus and a yellow card there. But then he went 6, then he went 8, then he went 15, then he went 19, then he went 7, and then I sold him. So I never got the 2, the 3, the 2, the 1, the 3. I've owned Phil Foden for almost the perfect amount of time. However, I think potentially his time could be coming again, and it is someone that I am actively thinking about for the next few weeks. That's what I would say to that. I've gone from 2.5 million game week 12 to 100k now. Yep. As I said, Liam, you'd be a bit like me. If you nail your wild card, and I wild carded in 12 as well, and I was 160,000, I would say, and I'm now inside the top 5. Like, if you nail the wild cards and don't play them too early, but at a time when there's fixture swings and people have to make hits or whatever, and you can just use your wild card to fix everything. And that was the time when Kirkes was emerging, when Robinson was emerging, when Milenkovic was emerging. All these cool, under-owned, cheaper assets. No one owned them, and they've all risen in price. The team value's gone through the roof, and it was all because of that wild card in game week 12. Yeah, I would agree. Palmer's most likely going to make way in my team as well, Peter, for sure, at this moment in time. Unless he delivers against Arsenal. If he delivers against Arsenal, he might get a reprieve. Leander Fernandez, Alanga or Hudson-Odoi. So many people asking about Alanga and Hudson-Odoi. I'm going to do a little bit more of a deep dive for you in a second on that one. But my gut feels Alanga. Only because of the fact that they play Man United next week. After the international break, and Alanga will be out with a point to prove against Man United, and he did really well against him at Old Trafford earlier this year as well. Palmer to Bruno and Marmouche to Evangeline, some of a -4 hit. I think I'd just do Palmer to Bruno and roll with Marmouche. We might find out if Marmouche is playing before the end of the deadline as well, so that's something to keep in mind. So, I wouldn't jump too early on that one. Problem is I failed wildcard game week 7 from Salah to Haaland. That hurts. Yep, I understand. And then brought it back. That's pretty good then. All things considering, that's the only problem with Haaland. You've got to sit there and you've got to get it right. If you don't get it right, it's kind of frustrating. Pearson, hello buddy, how are you? I'm still unsure about who to captain. It looks like everyone is captaining Wood or Haaland while I'm captaining Bruno. Look, mate, Bruno's my vice captain and we will work out later today. Part of me really wants to captain Bruno because he plays on Sunday night. And Haaland, hold on, what are the games this week? So at 11 o'clock, it's Southampton, Wolves, Man City, Brighton, Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, Everton, West Ham. Like, my captain either plays the first game tonight or they play the last game. They play the last game. My God, is that actually the time that game is on Monday? Man United versus Leicester is on at 3 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday night, Monday morning. Mate, I'm going to go to sleep on Monday? I don't even know. I'm going to be dead. I'm going to be dead. and didn't even know about bench order as this one. Oh, okay, yeah. Bench order. Bench orders are very important. I've got Kirkes in front of Creswell on my bench in case there's some sort of miracle that somehow some of these players don't play this week. Haaland's put me through as much trauma from game week 6. Mate, he's put me through trauma every week I've not owned him, but he's only hurt me really massively twice, and so many other people have sold him. But this is the week where lots of people are moving early. And I remember last season, he got that injury, he came back, and I jumped on Haaland 2 weeks after the masses, and I ended up just outside the top 100,000 because of it. And I'm not making that mistake this year. If he's going to pop, especially against Leicester next week, he's in the team a week early, so I can maximise on any rumblings of Haaland warming up for that game for next week. IV, -8 for Haaland, keep Salah. Yeah, definitely keep Salah. 100% keep Salah. Or Marmoush or a Van Linsen. If you're toying up between a Van Linsen and Marmoush, it's a Van Linsen all day long for me. A Van Linsen's he's just a better option. I think that a Van Linsen 100% starts as well. Marmoush is like one of them players that you're going to be sitting there every week going, is he actually going to play? And that, for me, is why I eventually didn't end up selling Palmer, because you know that Palmer's going to play every single week for Chelsea, whereas Marmoush and players like this ilk, maybe they don't play every single week. So that's what I would say to that. Nah, all good, man. Happy to help. That's what I'm here for. I actually, at the start of the year, I didn't really enjoy doing the live streams because I was like, oh, it's a bit weird. All these people talking to you and you can't actually see them. But the more I've got into it, the more I've enjoyed it. And I actually really enjoy them now. I like having a little drink when I do it as well. So I make a few more intelligent decisions. I generally make better decisions when I've had a drink or two. FYI. Customs. Gabriel, Kirkes, 8 Nori, Aina at my back, but based on what you've said, thinking to swap one for Palmer. Yeah, I think that if you ever gave me the option of starting 4 defenders this year, I wouldn't take it. Is what I'd say to that. I just don't rate defenders this year. Dutch courage. Yeah, it is a little bit like Dutch courage, Hiroki. It is. Cheers what I drink. Brilliant. I love this. Keep these comments coming in. Fantastic stuff. Also, I'm going to be back today for the 11 o'clock games doing a reaction stream. And in reality, hold on, where are we? I really just want to whack this in every time this man scores. Hopefully he does. Or else I'll be like sitting there doing a different emoji. But I'm definitely going to be slamming that emoji every time Haaland scores. You're just going to see that emoji and you're just going to know that Haaland has delivered. Also, I really need another 7 or so people to join the channel as members, so that way I can actually upload more emojis, because I've got more to go, but these are my favourite 4 at the moment. But I've got a Woody one as well I really want to put up, because Chris Wood's been probably my favourite player this season. Hello, Domenico, how are you? And morning from the USA. Hello. Far out. Must be early doors for you over there. Still not done having a starting 11 with Colwill benched. Where have you taken -4 to sell TAA, Nico Williams, Neto, or Dango, Hudson-Odoi, Gabriel, Miko, and Robinson? I think I'd take a -4. And I think I'd probably... Yeah, I think I'd take a -4. Trent's going to be injured anyway. If you're not wildcarding him 30-31, it makes so much sense to get rid of him now. He's just going to keep dropping in price. And if it means you can field 11 players in a better 11, it's worth taking a hit. Like, some people's teams this week are going to look like an absolute mess. If you can try and maximise out on that, and even if it means like taking a -4, like I've taken a -4 on my team, it's worth it. I mean, realistically, tonight, what I'm hoping for, Brentford versus Bournemouth is a goal fest. That's what I want. I want like 4-3 or something like that. That means Clivert and Buemo and Wissa are all going to be returning. It means that Kirk is going to be doing nothing on the bench, hopefully. I mean, he could easily get an attacking return. This man has been next level elite at left back. There's no way he's at Bournemouth next year, by the way. He's such a good left back. Man United could do worse than trying to buy him. But I suppose Dorgu looks pretty good. He obviously just got sent off. Otherwise, he would have been a great option this week in particular. I'm going to have a look. Bear with us a second. I'm just going to pull up the Hudson-Odoi and Elanga thing because I feel like this question has been asked a lot. Lots of people debating about it. Let's have a look. Nottingham Forest. So Gibbs White, I still think Gibbs White's a standout one. Obviously, 113 points for the season. Alanga's on 102. Hudson-Odoi's on 92. Alanga's minutes, though, have been super good since, like, game week 18. Like 73, 90, 69, 90, 73, 90, 90, 90, 90, 61, 79. But he's done nothing outside of that Brighton game for 7 weeks. Like, he's had one good game in 7 weeks. Let's have a look at Hudson-Odoi. So Hudson-Odoi's returned 3 times in that last 7 weeks. He didn't play against Bournemouth, didn't play against Brighton. I'm assuming he was injured, but then he came off the bench here against Fulham for 22 minutes. Maybe he just started on the bench. I mean, like, Hudson-Odoi looks like he's the one that's not completely nailed. So I think based off that, you would expect that maybe Alanga's better to own because he's more likely to start. But Hudson-Odoi's put out more returns over the last 7 weeks compared to Elanga. It's a real toss-up, man. I don't know the answer to that one, other than the fact I don't have to make the decision myself, and I'm quite thankful I don't have to make it. But it's a tough one. I don't know what I'd go with. I think I'd just go with Elanga just for the security of minutes and the fact that he's playing Man United in 30 and probably wants to do well against them. That's what I would say to that. All right, what's going on here? Get that down. But yeah, that's a difficult question. I've not had, like, Elanga and Hudson-Odoi. Just difficult. Just a difficult question, that one, really. And so many people have asked it as well. I don't have a clear and concise answer for it. We've got 58 minutes till the deadline now. Jan W. got Dallo for Trent. Leicester can't score right now. Yeah, I hope so. I hope you're right, Jan. I definitely hope you're right. I feel like, yeah. Dallo's 100% starting as well. With Dorgu out injured, there's no way that Dallo's not starting. Dallo actually scored a really nice goal in the Europa League on Thursday night as well. Quite impressive. In fact, Man United on a whole were very impressive. That was probably their best game under Ruben Amorim. Hopefully they can now take that kind of form into the Leicester game and make a meal of them. But hopefully. Odie was hurt with a groin. Okay, yep. Out for 23 and 24 and slowly came on. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. That's why he's missing in there. In that case, oh man, it's a real coin top loss, tip, toss, whatever you want to call it. All right, you know what we'll do? We'll flip a card. Flip a card. Hello, Nick. How are you? The governor is in the building, everybody. The governor is in the building. If you've got any West Ham questions, now's your time to ask him. This man is a West Ham guru. He sits there and watches them every week, a bit like how I watch Man United every week. So if you want to know about Bowen, Wan-Bissaka or anything, get involved in the comments and ask him. Gibbs White or Bowen. Also, is Munoz a keep? Munoz is definitely a keep. You want him for game week 30 and that Southampton fixture all day long. So Hudson-Odoi is the barcode. And Elanga is the logo. And I'm really good at flipping this card, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. And it landed on that, so it's Elanga. When in doubt, go with the card toss. The card toss never lies. We will be doing a card toss for captaincy later. Haaland will be the barcode and Bruno will be the logo. So yeah, it's Elanga. The card has spoken, it's Elanga. Gibbs White or Bowen. That's what I do, man. If you have to think about it too much, just take your thinking out of it and just do something stupid and go with it. Gibbs White or Bowen. Gibbs White or Clivert. I have Dango. For me, and you've got Dango. I'd still go Clivert. Clivert's probably the better buy out of Gibbs White and Clivert. Gibbs White's not on penalties, so that's just what I think about that. I think that's what you need to do there. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, I get that all the time. I go to I actually watch Man United, and I have hold on. I've got this for you, just for you. I always have stuff lying around for these streams, just so I can pull it out for the live chat. Probably more equipped than most content creators out there. I just like bringing stuff out. So I've actually got a Van Nistelrooy shirt. Normally I've got my other camera on, and number 10. And yeah, I wore that to Old Trafford when I went up to Manchester in December, and I wore it to the Bishop's Players, and every man and his dog wanted a photo with me. My hair's a little bit all over the place at the moment, but like the beard is and the face, generally speaking, lots of people come up and ask for photos all the time. So yeah, it's pretty good. Alanga it is, yeah, you know it. Just do it. Just lock in Alanga. That's the best way of looking at it, to be honest with you. Yeah. But yeah, Clive it over Gibbs White for me. Alanga it is. What's the hype about Dango? He's not going to play. So that's what the hype was, that everyone loved him because he was playing he was playing as the number 9 because of Van Linson was out injured. And I will admit that I was kind of tempted, but I always sat there and like, whenever an injury is one of those ones that could come back earlier, and if Van Linson was in that category, I just figured it wasn't worth going for someone that you just knew would lose his spot, and the spot you really wanted him to play in as soon as the other player was back. And it's turned out that was the case. So I'm very glad I went McClivert when I went McClivert instead. Is a -8 hit Isaac to Haaland, Palmer to Bowen, Bruno, and Trent to AWB worth the gamble? Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's only one -4 more than what I've done. I've taken a -4 to bring in Haaland just for a bit of fun more than anything else. -4 sells for Jorgensen. Hope Forest get 2 clean sheets in 29 and 30. We'll get a Palace defender next week, but can't get to Munoz. Gahey, Mitchell, or Lacrosse. Do you think Dango starts against Ipswich? Do I think Dango starts against Ipswich? I think it depends on the FA Cup. I feel like Dango potentially could. I feel like there could be some rotation because they play in the FA Cup against Man City on the weekend, and then they play midweek against Ipswich. Strong chance of rotation in one of those 2 games. Gahey's my pick of those defenders if you can't get to Munoz, by the way, Jan. That would be my pick there. Someone say Haaland. Haaland. The problem with Dango with Bournemouth in the Cup, that midweek game versus Ipswich, Dango would be nailed. Yeah, you would think so. I feel like Dango's a strong likelihood to come in for that, 100%. James Maxey. Hello, buddy. How are you? Start Wanyeri, -4 to do Isaac to Van Linson Wood, -4 to do Tell. Oh, you have Tell. That was a bit of a gamble. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out quite well. He's actually missed some absolute sitters in the Premier League as well. So I feel like you've been very unfortunate with that move. To Clive at Nottingham Forest mid. Tell doesn't start either way. Yeah, 100%. I would go with Clivert for a -4 for Tell, 100%. And I think I'd probably do the -4 for Wood over Van Linson. I think I prefer Wood over Van Linson. You know, Wood's 100% going to start for Forest. If Van Linson's still got a slight small risk of potentially not starting, that's what I would say to that. Yeah, I was just unlucky. Sometimes these moves can be brilliant, right? Like sometimes they can be absolutely brilliant and just hope for the best and away you go. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Jan. Oh, my bad. Jan. Have I said that right now? Yun. Oh, mate, I'm so bad with names. I'm shocking. I see it and I just look at it and I go, all right, I'm just going to own it and just say it how it is. So I'm thinking now it might be Yun. There you go, Yun. Okay, no problem at all, James. Happy to help. Cunha to Marmoush for -4. I think there's better options than Marmoush. Van Linson, Wood, Beto, all these guys are better than Marmoush. I'm just concerned about Marmoush's minutes. You won't hear me recommending him on this channel, unfortunately. I don't know what the fuss is about. He's played 5 games. He's performed in one of them, and the other 4 he's been he's looked okay, flashy, but not worth the risk. Who will be the best assistant manager for Game Week 29? If I'm being honest, I'm playing it on myself this week. If I had the assistant manager this week, I don't believe in not taking risks with it. I obviously played it on Moyes. I played it on Emery, and then I played it on Glasner. And so for me, it always has to be table bonus. Unfortunately, this week is not a good week for table bonus. It's either McKenna versus Nottingham Forest, which in theory, if they go as well as they did in the FA Cup, you could actually get a draw out of that. Or it's Ruud van Nistelrooy against Man United, and I just got to play it on myself. Just because of the fact that he looks like me. Otherwise, that's the only reasoning behind it, and I love him. He's my favourite striker that's ever played for Man United, Ruud van Nistelrooy. So, yeah. I love his chant as well. Rudy van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy. There you go. There's your answer. Bruno or Wood captain? I've got Bruno in front of Wood as my captain shout, but at the moment I'm on Haaland. But it might change. I might change it for the deadline. It could be Haaland. It could be Bruno. It's definitely not going to be Wood. Gibbs White, Hudson or Alanga? Gibbs White's definitely my pick of the three. Gibbs White's just been the most consistent of those three. There's a reason why he's priced more. He's delivered more points by 10, which is not a lot, but he's just more consistent. He generally, he just keeps ticking over. He doesn't have the massive holes, but he gets like the odd assist here or a goal. He just contributes more. No, Yun Yan. The first time he said it. No, Yun. Yan. Yan. There we go. Yan. The first time he said it. No worries, by the way. I'm German, so it's pronounced, Germany. I should know better, man. My parents are from, my dad's side are from Austria and Germany. My middle name is actually Matthias, but you probably say it in Germany or Austria as Matthias or Matthias. I'm not sure how you would pronounce it, but I've got a really German Austrian name as my middle name in Matthias, Matthias, however you want to say it. Still weighing up whether to sell Canade and Vandenberg for Williams and Guavio, or sell Palmer and Isaac and Canade for Milenkovic, Savinho and Haaland. I just quite like the Savinho punt. Like, I looked at it. I put him on the differentials this week because no one's talking about him at all. But his data is so good. His data is better than Phil Foden's. Like, Phil Foden's got 0.27 expected goals per 90. Savinho's got 0.26 expected goals per 90. Phil Foden's got 0.29 expected assists per 90, and Savinho's got 0.33 expected assists per 90. So he's actually got, when you combine the two together, better attacking data than Phil Foden. So I think he's a really good shout this week. I hope he starts. For that very reason. I think he'll be brilliant. Best goalkeeper for game week 29. I think Sells or Sarr. I actually really rate Sarr. I mean, Southampton probably score, I don't know. I feel like there's not going to be many clean sheets this weekend. I reckon how many teams are playing this weekend? There's 16. Hold on, let me have a look. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 16 games, 16 teams play this weekend. Everton, West Ham, that's going to be 1-1, I reckon. Ipswich versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are going to win, but I reckon Ipswich score. I reckon it's going to be like 3-1, maybe. Man City, Brighton, that could be a score draw, like 2-2 maybe. Southampton, Wolves, again, I feel like Wolves will win this. It'll be like 2-1 or something like that. Bournemouth versus Brentford, I'm just going for 4-3 because I want Clivert and both my Brentford boys to score, but really it might be Brentford 2 or 3-0. Arsenal versus Chelsea, that's probably going to be... I actually think Arsenal have not been attacking well, and Chelsea have just been very average. I reckon this game's going to be a cracker. I reckon it's going to be like 2-2, Arsenal-Chelsea 2-2. Fulham versus Spurs. Fulham are going to wipe the floor of Spurs. Spurs were crap last time in game week 29 last year. I think they'll do the same this year. Fulham win that game 3-0. And then Leicester, Man United. Leicester score, but Bruno delivers, and Man United win 2-1. There you go. That's my predictions for the weekend. Put some money on that. See what happens. Let's have a look. Yeah, he could be benched. 100% he could be benched. Doku could start. Yep, 100%. But I don't think Doku starts if Marmoush starts. So I think it's either Doku or Marmoush. I feel like Phil Foden can start regardless. And then it's really between Savinho and Bernardo Silva. If Bernardo Silva doesn't play deeper, he could start on the right and Savinho wouldn't. But I just feel like Savinho will start. That's just the way I think about it. Hello, Bonte. How are you? Any leaks, mate? Not that I've heard of just yet. I have been checking the Twitter feed, but there's been nothing so far. I suppose we're still a bit too far out to know for sure. Thoughts on my decision this week? Yeah, Salah, Alisson, Isaac for Haaland, Bruno, Kepa. 1 week punt. Yeah, love it. Nothing wrong with that. If you're wildcarding in 30, you're going to lose some team value for sure. But if you're happy with that, then it's fine. I don't think Ipswich score, nor Southampton. I hope so. I really hope they don't. I've got Milinkovic. I'd love a Milinkovic goal and a clean sheet. That'd be brilliant for me. And I'd love an 8-Nori attacking return and a clean sheet there for me as well. Jan, hey D-Unit, was choosing between the 2 most popular streamers of FPL, but obviously you are the... Oh, mate, much love. All you guys that come in and join and make the stream what it is, I do my very hardest to be as reliable as possible and get through all the comments. Still not press the button. Savinho or Bruno? I think I'd go Bruno over Savinho, Peter. That's my gut feel. I feel like Bruno's just he's the most bought-in player this week, right? Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure he's the most bought-in player. Hold on. That's my best free hit draft, by the way, if anyone's interested in a free hit. Areola, Sarr, Kirkes, Robinson, Guardiola, 8-Nori, Milenkovic, Fernandez, Foden, Gibbs, White, Bowen, Kluivert, Valence and Haaland, Wood. That is the best free hit draft this week. Cheers, my man. Isaac to Valenson, yeah, tick that off. Don't mind that. It's a good shout this week. If you can't afford Haaland, Valenson, I reckon, is going to be great value. Where's the fantasy hub? There we go. Look at the transfers in for Bruno. 846,000 people have bought in Bruno Fernandes. It's almost double the next most popular transfer, which has been Wood, followed by Haaland, followed by Kluivert. That is a sign that everyone is reading that Bruno Fernandes is a man in form. I can't believe how much he's gone up. He's possibly going to rise twice in 2 days. Like, that is insane how good. That's just brilliant. I just think that's brilliant. I love Bruno. Brilliant team. Brilliant man. He's carrying the team. He's carrying my team. Bring him in. Hope for the best. Make him captain. Do what you want. Hello, Dylan. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. All right, let's have a look. Hear me out. Anyone? Hear me out. Anyone? One free hit. Morgan's Gibbs White is a must. I can see a massive redemption arc after not being picked for England. We'll have a massive point to prove. Yeah, that England squad was really interesting. How did Marcus Rashford make it back into the England squad? Wissa or Evanlinson? Evanlinson for me, but Wissa could be all right this week. What is D-Unit's actual name? It's D-Unit. No, it's not. It's Darius. D is from Darius, and I used to be a massive G-Unit fan. 50 Cent lover back in the day. So the D unit became about, because like the G unit stood for Guerrilla Unit, because like that was 50 Cent's, like, you know, the G unit. And then I decided that I wanted to make my own kind of unit, so I became the D unit. So the Destruction Unit, that was me, Destruction Unit. So that's where the name came. That's where the name came from. But yeah, my actual name's Darius. Who to captain? The 4 best captaincy shouts this week are Haaland, Fernandez, Wood, and Kluivert. I think all 4 are going to return this week. I don't think there's going to be a hell of a lot in it. I don't think there's going to be a mad swing like there was last week where Salah outperformed Palmer by like 15 points to 1. I can't foresee that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Haaland goes and scores a hat-trick tonight and gets 17 points, and then there will be a big swing. But we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. His name is Dirk. It's really funny. So I was having this argument about the fact that Man United can't score goals, and me and Darren used to play up front. That's D Tuck in the chat. And our one season where we played properly together, we scored 55 goals between us. Like 55 goals between us. We were like the Dwight York and Andy Cole combination of football out here in Western Australia. We couldn't be stopped. We didn't go to training. We went out every weekend, got absolutely pissed and whatever till like 5 a.m. in the morning, and we'd roll up for 11 o'clock kickoff. We would roll up at 10:58, put our shoes on, walk onto the field and dominate. And he'll back me up for that. Button pushed. Rogers and Isaac out. Bruno and Valentin in. Love it. Yeah, great moves, Peter. Lock them in. I think you'll be sitting there pretty good at the moment with that. Looking at that. Should we start calling you Darius? No, do not call me Darius. That's just stupid. It's D-Unit. That's why the name is D-Unit. All my friends in the UK call me D-Unit as well. I actually introduced myself. I said, call me D-Unit, but my name's Darius. His name came about because he wanted to be like D-Tuck and score. Oh, here we go. So we need another 7 people or whatever it is to join the channel as paid members. So that way I can actually put up this new emoji, and it's going to be my face with 23 and Darren's face with 22 next to it. So that will wind him up. Let's get him excited in the comments, boys. Now to decide if it's worth dumping Dango for a -4, but only 0.6 in the bank. So 0.6 in the bank, and you've got Dango, and he's 5.1. Let's have a look. Dango. Midfielders. Let's go to midfielders. And Dango. Awobi's not a shout. Don't rate that at all. Hold on, let's change this around. Let's go to 5.7. Rogers and Sarr don't play this week. They're probably your best shouts. You've got 0.6 in the bank. I mean, you could go to Semenyo, but that just seems a bit much for muchness. Damsgaard's not a shout. Shade's not a shout. Elanga could be a shout. Smith Rowe, if you're... these are just bad moves. They're not clever moves. They're not worth -4s. I think I'd just keep Dango, man. I think I'd just roll with him. I don't think it's worth... I don't think it's worth the -4, that one, if I'm being honest. I think that with the options you've got, I think you're better off just rolling and going with Dango. Yeah, man, it's what I'm here for. I do try and get through to everyone. I don't try and ignore. I'm pretty quick at reading as well, which is kind of handy. And I've got so many screens set up. Like if you see my room, I've got like a little mini. What's the word I'm looking for? A little mini LCD inside my actual computer case, which has a dedicated screen on it to help me get through everything. I've got my screen that I'm sharing on, and then I've got my streaming thing on the left, which is why I look like I'm looking left a lot, because that's how I'm reading everyone's comments. It's not because I'm just ignoring the camera. It's because, unfortunately, I've got to read the comments when they come in. They're on the left. And then I've got another screen open down here, just doing all this other weird stuff just to like try and be across everything. I'm now going to try and see if we can find any leaks out and see if there's anything on Twitter that maybe I should be aware of, that I can fill you all in on. But it doesn't look like there's anything that I can see so far at the moment. Yeah, I can't see anything. Also, when is the actual games? Have we gone past the deadline? Am I just rolling on for you for nothing? No, we haven't. What's going on? All right, I'm super confused. Twitter looks like the deadline's already passed, but I was like, that can't be right. It's definitely 9:30. I did the maths on this before. Ignore that. I'm going to stop looking at Twitter. It's such a waste of time. Yeah, no, there's not many options at all, unfortunately, Peter. I would just recommend hoping for the best and hope that he comes on and gets some decent points off the bench. How likely is it we get team news? Well, I've just been checking Twitter now, Liam, and I can't see anything, mate. And I follow all the people that you would know about that leak information, and there's nothing here. Nothing being added. So many people making -4s, -8s this week all over Twitter. I think I actually feel pretty good about taking a -4 at the moment. Lots of people doing Trent and Nico Williams. I'm not sure why people are so obsessed with Nico Williams. Milenkovic is definitely the pick for me. Yes, he costs 0.5 million more because he rose in price overnight, but he's definitely the best defender to buy this week. I've still got Nico Williams as the 6th best defender to buy. I think there's so many better options than him. I understand why people are going there because he's super cheap, but yeah. Oh my God. Someone just shared a photo on Twitter saying no Haaland in the squad. And it was the Manchester City women's squad. Oh, mate, these crack-ups. I mean, the thing is, the one thing I like about this is if you play Bruno Fernandes as captain, you know 100% he's going to play 90 minutes unless he gets himself injured, which never happens, or he gets himself sent off, which happens once in a blue moon. So you're almost guaranteed 90 minutes out of that man. Like the other ones will come off. Like Haaland might even come off. Wood always comes off about 10 minutes before the end of the game. Clivert generally comes off between 20 and 5 minutes before the end of the game. So like Bruno and Haaland is why I've got the captaincy between those two, because of the fact that they're likely to play 90 minutes, which means there's more chances of getting some goals. What time is it in Western Australia? At the moment, Jan, it is 8:54 at night. So it's almost 9 p.m. Yeah, I've definitely got it right. I knew I had it right. I don't know why Twitter's being weird. Maybe, yeah. What's your top 5 defenders this week? It's Milenkovic, number 1. 8 Nori, number 2. Guaviol, number 3. Wan-Bissaka, number 4. Kirkes, number 5. Nico Williams, number 6. I own 3 of the top 6 defenders, I think, in the game at the moment. I've got Kirkes, Milenkovic, 8 Nori. I've got Robinson as well, but this is really the last week Robinson's any good for, because Fulham's fixture run after this week is not flash, and I will probably move him out. He's 100% gone on wildcard. Robinson will definitely be leaving the team. He's been great, though. He's been a great servant. He's risen in price. I think he started the season at 4.5, and he did get up to 5.1. He's obviously down to 5 mil now, because obviously people are waking up that he has got a harder fixture run moving forward for the foreseeable future of the rest of the season. Also, we will be back for a live watch-along at 11 o'clock, which is when Everton play West Ham, Ipswich play Nottingham Forest, Man City play Brighton, and Southampton play Wolves. I'll be covering all those games. I may even, depending on what everyone else in this house is doing, because I'm doing it from my room at the moment. Otherwise, I'll have to move into the other room. But realistically, I will try and watch a Bournemouth-Brentford game as well. But I really want to watch 11 o'clock games. I bought in Haaland. I've been, like, for so long, I've watched... Every time I have a Man City asset, I just feel like they always score points. So, I mean, Phil Foden rocked it for me in my team earlier this season. So I'm hoping Haaland on his return. And most times when I bought a player back in for the second time this season, it's worked out amazingly. So I've owned Wood twice. I've owned Salah twice. I've owned Mbuemo twice. I've now owned 8 Nori twice. I've owned Robinson twice. And this will be the second time I've owned Haaland. And almost every player that I bought back in that I've owned twice has done really well in my team. So I'm kind of hoping that will continue. Also, still no news in the Twitter world on any lineups that I can see. Lots of people bringing in Marmoush. I don't get the Marmoush transfer. I just don't get it. Oh, hold on. That's not what I want to do. Yeah, Twitter's still got nothing. Don't know. So many people. I mean, imagine if Salah doesn't do anything for the rest of the season, and this should have been the week when you sold him. I don't think there's no chance that anyone should sell Salah this week. I don't even know why I bothered muttering those words. Absolutely preposterous. What's your top? I hope this trend continues too. Yeah, I hope so as well, buddy. I really hope so as well. I just feel like the expensive defenders. I own Trent for the Liverpool 2 double game weeks in a row. But realistically, I just don't think that they're worth it, to be honest. I just think that like Trent in comparison to like Kirkes and Robinson, even Milenkovic, for the price you pay for him compared to what the others have outputted, yes, he's had a couple of amazing weeks, Trent, but so have the others. So that's just the way I look at it. And at the end of the day, you want I just think you want the value in your team, and you want to save as much money as possible as well. Oh, the ice has melted in this drink, and now it's getting a little bit warm. Foden was also amazing for me as a sub. Yeah, I know. How good was it? So many people didn't go with Phil Foden. They went with Anthony Gordon post the Saka injury. I went with Phil Foden thinking this is the move for me, and I just thought that it was a great differential shout. Not many people were talking about him. I was in love with him. I just thought that he was the best pick by a country mile with that block of fixtures that Man City had, and he absolutely went ham. Like, for that run of fixtures, he was just as brilliant as you could expect him to be. And he's been bang average since. But I reckon he could get back there before the end of the season. It's 11:58 in Melbourne, and these times are dreadful for watching it. APL. Oh, mate, yeah, daylight saving ends in April, right? I feel like it ends in April, and it must be horrible. The first lot of games come on at 2 a.m. in the morning. Stuff that. I couldn't live over East. I don't know how you guys do it. I honestly couldn't live over East at all. Yeah. Not for me. I don't know how you do it, but I love that you do it. A Valentin or Wissa. I think this is a hard one. I've got Wissa in my team, but if I was on a free hit, I'd have a Valentin. I think that's the best way of describing it. I think that 100% that's what I would have for me. I just think that's what I want. And I think that's what I rate. If Isaac goes down, I'll only lose 0.3, so not such a... Yeah, that's why I moved him out today for Haaland, because I was like, if Haaland goes off tonight, right, and like, let's say he gets a goal and an assist and he gets like 10 points or 11 points or something like this. If Haaland gets that, everyone's going to want to start moving to him. And I got him at 14.7. I sold Haaland when he was at 15.4. Like, and I sold him, obviously, his selling price was 15.2 because I bought him at 15. If he rises in price because all of a sudden he starts to look like he's about to explode again, all of a sudden, I'm looking pretty. Like, my team value will rise back up because obviously I sold Isaac and I lost a little bit of value in him. Now it's only, because of the fact I sold him before he dropped in price, I've only lost, I think, 0.3 now from him in total. And it might even be 0.2 by the end of today. Lots more people are probably going to sell him between now and the next 29 minutes. So it's not too bad. I think that it's not a horrible decision regardless. Unless my team's on. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yep. Sa or Kepa? I think I'd go with Sa. I feel like Brentford should have more of a chance of scoring, particularly with their current away form, than what Southampton do at home against Wolves. I think both teams concede, to be honest with you. I feel like Southampton will score. Southampton are like, they're one of them weird teams, right? If you have a look at Southampton's team, we'll pull someone up from Southampton just so I can tell you what I'm talking about. If we go to like Southampton here, let's go Ramsdale, right? Like 3-1, 4-0, 4-0, 3-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-1. They've been getting a lot of ones. Against teams that you wouldn't expect them to as well. Like, they scored against Newcastle. They scored twice against Forest. They scored once against Liverpool. They scored once against Bournemouth. They scored once against Man United. That's no accomplishment. They scored once against Chelsea earlier in the year. They scored twice against Liverpool. They scored against Liverpool both times, and Liverpool has the best defence in the league. They even scored against Arsenal. So, like, Southampton are pretty good at scoring goals. So, I don't know. I just think both of those two keepers concede. I would expect the Wolves keeper to concede less than 2. So, therefore, he's going to get 2 points. There's a potential that Brentford show up and they score 3. Realistically, probably not. They're probably both going to get about 2 points. I would expect the Sarr to get more save points, though, than Kepa. I think that's what I would say to that. I think that makes sense. But yeah, it's a difficult decision either way. Definitely not an easy one, that's for sure. Oh, what am I doing? Who's everyone going in captaincy? If you're in the chat, just whack in the chat who you're going with captain for this week. I'm really intrigued to know. Yeah. Those renegade Southampton goals have cost... Oh, mate. Those Southampton goals have cost me massive points this season. Like, I think a couple of the times I've actually doubled up on defences have been against Southampton, and every time I've done it, Southampton have scored. Like, it was Trent and Alisson last weekend, and that Southampton goal went in. I was like, are you kidding me? So frustrating. Thanks, I think. Yeah, I know. That was so unhelpful. I tell you what, no Haaland, so Wood. Yeah, 100%. If you can't get Haaland, Chris Wood is the next best buy this week in the forward line, 100%. I actually think Chris Wood is more essential to own this week than Erling Haaland. That's my honest opinion on that one. I can give you a straight answer on that. Chris Wood is better than Erling Haaland. But yeah, Bruno captain. Yep, we are going to do a card flip later for the captaincy. Bruno will be on that side. Haaland will be on that side, and whatever side it lands on will be the way we go. We will do that in approximately 15 minutes time. We're 10 minutes before the end of the deadline. But to add a little bit of spice. Last week, I actually did a toss here. If anyone knows that watched last week's last 10 minutes, it was hectic. I didn't know what I was going to do. In the end, I only did Hall out for 8 Nori. But last week, I was contemplating getting rid of Fabianski for a -8, Trent and Palmer and Isaac, and bringing in Haaland. I can't remember who I was even bringing in. I was bringing in Haaland, Bowen, 8 Nori, and some other fool in goal. It would have been Areola or Sarr. And I flipped this, and I said, if it lands on this side, I'm only doing one transfer and I'm not going to take any hits. And if it lands on that side, I'm taking a -8. It landed on this side and I didn't take the -8, and it worked out very well for me, and I got a small green arrow up to 4,237. So I'm glad the card showed up last week. Hopefully it can show up again today. Everyone is really keen, and I'm 100% locking it in. Whatever it lands on will be who gets made captain. I was actually doing a few practice tosses earlier on in the day to make sure I was getting a good toss in the air, and it was like flicking around multiple times before it landed. And ironically, I flipped it 4 times and it landed two apiece on each side. So who knows? The law of probability says that if I threw this up 100 times, it would land 50 times one side and 50 times the other. It's a perfectly natural piece of paper, piece of card, just with 2 different images on each side. That's how you make your captaincy decisions. I just feel like I'm leaving it to the FPL gods. And if they want me to get a green arrow, it will land on the correct answer. Marmoush starts, does he? Where's that coming from? Who's making that up? Let me have a look. Let's see what we can get here. Hold on. There's been a few posts. Let's have a look. All right. Apparently the FPL newsletter, Marmoush starts for Man City. Can you please confirm the Nordic Meat Shield starts? Also, wow, apparently the last time Bruno Fernandes played Leicester, he got 17 points and doubled, would have got you 34. Just an FYI. All right, I'm just reading Twitter at the moment. Someone reckons that Marmoush is starting on here. I don't know how relevant that is. See if any more people post it. Can someone leak the Bournemouth and Arsenal team for the weekend, please? All right, let's have a look. All right, I'm just checking my things here. We'll see if we've got any more information. Gibbs White captain for me. I'm going rogue. I love it. Let's have a look. There's still nothing on that I can see. Let's have a look. I don't know how well I trust this person that's just written Marmoush starts on Twitter. Like, is that just someone just stirmongering? It could well be. I just don't rate Marmoush anyway. I don't think he's an option anyway, if you want my honest opinion. Which players are you most interested in for kickoff? I think where is this coming from? Could someone, how do we know Marmoush is starting? Who else is starting in that team? But who else is? How do we know Marmoush is starting? Is Marmoush just posted, hello, I'm starting today? How do we know that? What's the rest of the team? If someone could leak the entire team, that'd make it a lot easier to work out whether it's worth captaining Haaland or not. This could be big news. Like, depending on who else starts with, like, Haaland. Yeah, I don't know. There's so much stuff to scroll through. It's not enough. There's too many things. Waiting for more leaks. But Marmoush is starting. Okay. That's brilliant. Right, Marmoush starts. What does that mean? That probably means that Doku's on the bench. All right. If Marmoush is starting, it means that Doku and or Foden could be on the bench. I mean, Haaland got named in the Norway national team, right? So I don't think Haaland's going to be getting benched. You'd be shocked if he got benched. They're not going to be benching Haaland. Well, he'd like to bloody well hope not anyway. It would be the ultimate troll, though. Everyone brings in Erling Haaland and he just doesn't play. That would be absolutely horrible. I could just imagine it. Just the life of me just making that move and just realizing it was just such a dud move. It would just make me sad. I want to see more leaks. Oh, hold on. Okay. Buy Wood or Marmoush it is. Yeah. I mean, like, well, if Marmoush is definitely starting, if you're just going for a quick 1 week or 2 week punt, it could be a really good shout. I'm not convinced on Marmoush, though. He's got a hat-trick in one game, and that was the game that Haaland didn't play in. And that was, no, it wasn't. No, Haaland did play in that game. I lie. That is absolute bollocks. Ignore what I just said then. It was against Newcastle. That was that 4-0. Haaland got an assist. Marmoush got a hat-trick that day. I mean, Haaland's form's been pretty good of late. If you go back to game week 19, he scored 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. And obviously he didn't play in that Liverpool game, so it's actually 7 and 9. So he's actually been scoring, just hasn't been at the levels that we're expecting of Haaland, like where he's been getting 1 or 2 goals a game. I don't know if Marmoush actually helps Haaland or not. I don't know if I don't know how I feel about that news in particular, owning Haaland. But yeah, I hope it's going to work out okay. I hope. We'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. It's just going to be one of them ones where, mate, Twitter there's so much stuff that gets put up in here. It's just ridiculous. I wish they'd put it in order as well. I don't know. Bruno Fernandes, though, could he be maybe he is the captain. I'm just going to put it down to the card. Stuff that. I don't care about team leaks. Haaland's definitely going to start, you would have thought, barring a bloody miracle. So we'll rely on the card. I'm just going to put that away. We'll get all team leaks. If you have Marmoush in your team, you hold him. And you're pretty happy that Pep Roulette has landed on the 9 for Marmoush or whatever number he wears, he's rolling. He played 21 minutes against Nottingham, so yeah, he isn't guaranteed to start every game, I reckon. Yeah, I agree. Apparently, Marmoush is in. That's the news. I can't verify it. I can't deny it. But everyone seems to think that Marmoush is starting, so I think if it's widespread knowledge, someone that knows someone, maybe Marmoush's sister or mother or someone has told her friend and her friend has leaked it to the media. I don't know. I'm just making that up. It sounds good when you say it like that. All right, so FPL Focal's now pointing that Marmoush starts as well. So the FPL newsletter is the one that broke this news. So yeah, apparently Marmoush is starting. There you go. Hello, Mickey. It's good to see you again, buddy. I brought in Delit and Bowen in for Wanyeri and Tsunami for -4 thoughts. I mean, they're two way better players than the two you had. Apparently, it's the FPL newsletter, Aham. I was just looking on Twitter, and that everyone's just reposted. Like FPL Focal reposted Marmoush starts for Man City. So I'm assuming that that's he must be a reliable source. I don't know. I still think, yeah, I feel like a wildcard 30 looks even better than it is now. Mate, so I don't know how people are like so much on Twitter. I'm not Savinho starting. I'm not sure. All I can tell you is that apparently Marmoush is definitely starting. That's the only leak we've got. Yeah. I don't know. I just seen a free hit draft that has Haaland captain, Evanlinson, Raul, and then Gibbs, White, Alanga, Kluivert, Bruno Fernandes as vice captain, Semedo, Aït-Nouri, Guardiol, and Sells. They're really going all in on those easy fixtures. I don't know how well that's going to work, to be honest. I'm not sure. We've got 14 minutes left anyway. Keep your comments, keep your questions coming as well. Captain Kluivert or Gibbs White? Kluivert for me if you're out of those two. I think Kluivert's going to be really good this week. Kluivert's just looked really good. Like if I've watched the games, my eye tells me that Kluivert's a better player than Gibbs White, especially at the moment as well. Who do you support in AFL? We had a bad loss today, I'll tell you that much, Liam. And I'm from WA, so I can tell you that my team is from WA and you can put two and two together. And I watched 3 quarters of absolute crap from Fremantle. They were poor. They were very poor. Geelong made them look like fools. The first half wasn't even. It was just a deplorable game, really. All right, everyone's saying Marmoush is starting, but there's no other news. No other news. Wow, apparently, did anyone watch the Champions League? Apparently, the Julian Alvarez penalty. And now the club have asked about the UEFA to ask about why it was disallowed. Wood or Bruno captain? Bruno captain for me, Vigo. Hello, Vigo C. Yeah, I think Bruno's probably the best captain out of those two. There's just more points in a midfielder, right? He could get a clean sheet points against Leicester. He could get an extra point for a goal. It's just, I'd rather, I've generally, that's how I've always, like earlier in the season, I picked Salah a couple of times instead of Haaland when I owned them both. You've always got to look for how many more points you can get. The midfielders can get you more points, especially if they're scoring midfielders. Oh, mate, my missus is a Collingwood supporter. She absolutely loved what was the end result? How much did Collingwood win by in the end? Did they get 100 points? Like I started getting ready for the stream when it was like the start of the last quarter. That third quarter, Collingwood vintage, they were absolutely brilliant in that quarter. I have Marmoush and João Pedro up front. Am I cooked? No, they could both score. I expect Brighton to score tonight. So, Suzanne, I wouldn't be too concerned about that at all. I feel like you'll be pretty fine with that, to be honest with you. I think it'll be pretty good. Also, does anyone know what the new FPL challenge is? I'm going to do that quickly after the deadline closes in 12 minutes' time. 136 to 45, 91 points. That is a smashing. Wow, that's embarrassing. Cheers, man. Thank you very much. I love the positivity that all you guys bring to the channel. It's very rare I get negative comments, so I'm very happy that you guys are all enjoying it. That's why I do it. I quite enjoy it. I've become a bit of my pastime. I come home from work and instead of just sitting around playing a video game, I've just been making a video about FPL really and just waffling my thoughts really. I spend that much of the day thinking about it. I might as well make videos about it. So Yeah. And this is my first proper season, really like actively, properly engaged. It's the first season I've not actually missed a deadline so far. So it's been good doing these streams because Savinho, I don't know if Savinho's starting. We only know that Marmoush is starting at the moment. Bobby Hill. He didn't look like he had a very good game. Back again, Marmoush starts still between him and Evanlinson for -4. I think if he starts, I'd be tempted to go Marmoush, but next week, when game week 30, if you're not wildcarding, I think Evanlinson's better than Marmoush because, yes, Man City are going to have Leicester, but you're worried about Pep Roulette. Bournemouth have Ipswich, arguably just as good a fixture, and I don't think Evanlinson is so much of a rotation risk. I want to know what else the Man City lineup is. Like, why do we know that Marmoush is starting and no one else knows who else is starting? I don't know what else I'm going to do. Why can't we get any other news? No other leaks. Well, someone must know, just be someone that knows Marmoush and was like, just got into him and like now that's how we know he's starting. I don't know. Yeah, it is a tight one. Alanga or Hudson? I've already asked AS. Hello, buddy. Alanga or Hudson-Odoi? It's Alanga. I just think that he's more nailed. He's more likely to want to fire against Man United in game week 30 as well. So for a 2-week punt, yes, he costs 0.1 more. If that 0.1 is really important, then go Hudson-Odoi. If it's not, I think I'd go Alanga. I feel like Alanga's minutes are a little bit more secure than Hudson-Odoi's as well. That's my gut feel on it anyway. Captaincy decision. We're almost up to the captaincy decision. We've got 9 minutes to lock it in. Rahi, can you just write in the comments if you're watching, because we will do the captaincy flip now. I just want to make sure you're in the chat before I do it, because I know you've been hanging out for this all stream. So I am going to do a captaincy flip. So this is Erling Haaland on the barcode, and my logo is Bruno Fernandes. So whichever way this card faces up when it hits my desk here, that is who will be captaining Rude to Forget United this week. Hopefully keeping me inside the top 5K. But I'll just wait for Rahi to respond in the comments. He's watching. All right, there we go. All right, we'll do it. We'll just go. We'll do a little countdown as well. So I reckon I'm just going to put it in here now. I reckon it's going to be this bloke. I just got a feeling it's going to be this bloke, right? So I'm just going to quickly whack it in here. Where's my thing? There we go. It's going to be, I reckon it's going to be this guy. We all know it's coming. All right, here we go. So, lands on this, it's Bruno Fernandes. If it lands on that, it's Erling Haaland. So at the moment, it's on Erling Haaland. All right, and let's see how we go. You're not going to believe it landed on Bruno Fernandes. Let's lock it in. I said I'd do it. Oh, where is he? Mate captain. There we go. Save your team. There'll be no Haaland. There'll be no Haaland. It is a light bulb moment. I'll be cheering Haaland on, but I'm going with Bruno Fernandes captain. He's got to get Leicester. He's got 17 points the last time he played Leicester. We just know it. We know it's going to pop off. Like, Bruno is carrying Manchester United at the moment. And I've got every faith in my captain delivering some points. The only thing I will say is that earlier in the year, Bruno owes me because I think it was, Southampton, this Southampton game. This week against Southampton, everyone captained Mo Salah and Cole Palmer. And they both sucked. And then I was like, here we go, massive green arrow. Bruno's got Southampton. And he got 1 bonus point. He got 2 bonus points. And he only got 4. And Ahmad got the hat-trick. But then the next week he got a goal. So I'm backing him in. My captain, Here's my team. Here's my captain. It's Bruno Fernandes captaincy. There you go. Whack that in your comments. No other content creator does that on stream. So there you go. The card comes up trumps again. There seems to be a liking for this side of the card, by the way, because it landed on this side last week as well. And that was a better toss than I did last week as well. And it fell onto the floor and it landed on this. So there you go. It's Bruno Fernandes captaincy. There we go. Rahi knew it. Rahi, are you captaining Bruno as well? I'm intrigued to know who else is going to join me in captaining Bruno, just for the jokes. Watch him get 2 points now. No, he's not going to get 2 points. He's going to get a massive haul. He's going to get another hat trick. He's going to get back hat tricks in 4 days. I don't even know why I bought in Haaland now. Why did I bother bringing him in? If he scores a hat trick, I'll be loving it anyway. But it would just be annoying that he, never trust the early kickoff. Yep. The card did know. The card knew last week as well because Man City had the early kickoff and I was looking at bringing in Haaland, Guardiola, and that was who I was going to bring in for Trent last week. Guardiola, Haaland, Palmer was going for Bowen and it was Sarr in as a goalkeeper. And the card knew, don't trust the early kickoff. And I listened to the card last week and I'm listening to the card again. The card has 100% strike rate at the moment. If it sits there and nails this week, the card is going to become immortal. It's going to be the new badge that I upload as an emoji to use. Just play the bloody card, Darius, and just do it. Right. Semenyo, Gibbs White or Montesi for the next 2 game weeks. I think you go with Gibbs White for the next 2 game weeks. Oh, Montesi could be good, but the others are just minute risks. I think Gibbs White's the nailed one. I'd go with Gibbs White. 100% Gibbs White, Andrew. Good differential, but a bit insane. Yeah, it is a little bit insane, but I've got to top 5K by being a little bit insane, so I'm going to keep backing in my insanity a little bit. I don't have Bruno, unfortunately, unless I take a minus hit for him instead of Palmer, which is likely not happening, or else I would have captained him. With you big time. I'm on Bruno because I don't have Calvert-Lewin. Dead. I'm dead. Oh, mate, Peter, that is probably the best comment I think I've ever read on stream. I'm captaining Bruno because I don't have Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Oh, mate, that's... I don't even know what to say to that. That's just brilliant. I always had the armband on Bruno. Let's go. Yes, come on, Pearson. Any last-minute leaks? Bruno, captaincy, he's going to get 20 points this week. He's going to get a hat-trick. That's my last-minute leak. Fire King, hello buddy. Was going to captain Wood, but now I'm going to captain Ferrick. Oh yes, everyone's jumping on the Bruno bandwagon with me. We're all going down together, boys. It's either riding us to the top or he's taking us to the gutter. It's either way. The card knows. I have every faith in the card. If the card does not deliver, I'm tearing this card apart. I'm never throwing it up in the air again. Might start Salah for the auto sub. Yeah, mate, that could be good. Maybe I'll make Salah captain, Bruno vice captain, just for the jokes. I still can't go to that Dominic Calvert-Lewin comment. I don't know why I'm so dead about it. You know what it is? You know what that is? You know what the Dominic Calvert-Lewin comment deserves? It deserves that. It deserves a Tom. It deserves a Tom. A face down Tom, half asleep, eyes struggling to be open. All right, let's see if I can pull it together a little bit. Bruno bench confirmed 10 minutes sub. Yes, I'm taking it all day long. Marmouche starts. So I'm taking the punt. Yep, go ahead. Yeah, Marmouche. Yeah. Getting Gibbs White. Yep, Gibbs White is goodbye. All goodbyes. Make sure you make your moves. You've got 2 minutes. Make them early. Make sure they're not on your bench. Make sure they're not the last man. Sub them the hell on. Savinho starts 100. There you go. Savinho. Oh, mate, Haaland's going to score goals with those two. Actually, they might not because Savinho's a really good assist maker. I think that Marmouche is a little bit greedy or hungry. Maybe Haaland is actually benched. Can you imagine if Haaland's benched and the card knew he was going to be benched and it was like, play it on Bruno because Bruno's definitely going to be getting points? That would just be jokes if that was the way it was. Also, I'm intrigued to know whether everyone thinks with my -4 this week, will I get a red arrow or a green arrow? Like, how many people around my rank are taking a red arrow or a green arrow? Savinho starts. All right, we've got 1 minute left. 1 minute left to make your transfers. I'm just checking my team is locked. Yes, my team has been saved. Bruno Fernandes is going in as my captain. I can't believe it. Did you know, a couple of years ago, in fact, actually, 2 of the last 4 years, I've played my triple captain on Bruno Fernandes, and both times he's been absolutely sensational. So I generally have a very good record when I play my captaincy on Bruno. So hopefully the card knew that this was another week. I mean, if he gets 10 points, I'll be very happy with 10 points, like captained. So realistically, Man United could easily get a penalty against Leicester, and then Bruno Fernandes is on track for 10 points straight off the bat. Would you start a West Ham defender over Robinson? No. I would definitely start Robinson. Robinson's starting instead of Creswell for me, so I'd definitely be starting him. I think that is the deadline. It should be passed. Let's have a look. 9:30 is just passed on my screen, and the game is updating. All right, so while we're doing that, we're going to quickly have a look at FPL Challenge, and last week it was a disaster. This is what happens when you get the assistant manager wrong, by the way. So if we go here, last week double down, assistant managers earned double points. You want to know how much Graham Potter made me last week? 0 points. What a flog. He was my top-rated assistant manager last week with table bonus. I should have known and played it on Ruben Amorim against Arsenal, knowing that they're not very good. But I did have Ismaili Assar, who got 11 points, Mo Salah captain, and Munoz. So that was okay. Let's have a look at what this week is. So unlimited budget, 7 aside. So we're going to go with Haaland. We're going to change this formation. We're going to go with a 2-3-1. Maybe, hold on. Midfielder, I want Kluivert. I want Bruno. Actually, I want a second forward. Stuff that. Hold on, I want 2-2-2. Wood. And then in the defence, it is going to be Milinkovic. The other defence, we're going to go with Ait Nouri, just for the lols. And in goals, we're going to go with Sells. Save the team. No, we'll make Bruno Fernandes captain. The card said Bruno Fernandes captain. Watch me top score in FPL Challenge this week. That's FPL Challenge done, locked and loaded. I'll be back at 11 o'clock for a reaction stream, and we'll see if the card got it right with Haaland. Really, I need him to return because they're also taking a -4 for absolutely no reason at all. But hopefully he doesn't go too stupidly ham, and Bruno Fernandes can more than match him on Sunday Night Football. I'll join you for that very shortly. I'll be back in an hour and 28 minutes, and we'll watch the Haaland show, get up and running in the D Units team, and see what my rank is taking a -4 heading into blank game week 29. We're all set. We're all loaded. I'll see you in an hour and 20 odd minutes.